Yeah, and what I love about this, guys, and maybe I'm nerdy in this way, but I love reading, some of these theologians who lived hundreds of years ago. The church fathers, those are the theologians directly after the apostles, but also the reformers, because they all wrestle with these ideas. And in this particular case, Martin Luther, you may have heard of his denomination, Lutheranism, he talked about, I'm going off memory, so I might mess up the Latin terms here, but there's different kinds of fear, and there's servile fear and familial fear, if I'm saying that right. Servile fear, he says, is the fear that a servant feels towards their master. It's a fear of being punished. If you screw up, you're going to be beaten, you're going to be punished. Martin Luther says the fear that the scriptures speak of, like the fear of the Lord, is that familial fear, that family fear. It's the reverence, the fear that a young child feels towards their father, right? So they don't think their kids are going to come, or the father's going to come beat up the kids, but they know that, hey, if there's a monster, they call their dad because their dad can beat up the monster. It's the greater fear that drives out the lesser fears. And that's what Martin Luther would say. That's what that reverence fear looks like. It's a fear, but it drives out fear of death, and it drives out fear of man, and it drives out all these other fears because we have a greater fear. We have a greater God who is far more powerful and honestly, far more terrifying than even the scariest demon on Hollywood, right? It's a terrible thing to fall into the hands of the living God, is what Hebrews says, speaking about judgment. God is terrifying and awful in the full sense of the word, full of awe, but that's who God is, and we should walk or conduct ourselves, however it translates it, in that reverent fear. And I do like that exile too. It's temporary. He's highlighted this over and over and over for us. This world is not your home.